Yes. All right, we're live?
We are live on Instagram.
Live on Facebook and YouTube. Hopefully everybody can hear us okay. Hopefully everybody can see us okay. Got our Zevias in hand. Sorry we're late.
I got my topo in hand.
I've already had like 4 topos today, but we're good to go. So, let me know if y'all can hear me on this one, Facebook and YouTube. Tina, can you hear us okay? What's up, Tina?
Hey, you two.
I think you should be able to hear us. We got the mic plugged up. So we're going to start off today with talking about busting through plateaus. You want to start this off, babe?
You ask me that every week.
I started it last week.
So breaking through a plateau, I would say the first key is to first don't start everything off all at the same time. So, goodness. If you are starting keto, and you start keto carnivore, and you start intermittent fasting, and then you start long-term fasting, and you start doing all these things at the same time, you can leave yourself no room for leverage. If you're doing cardio, like 5, 6, 7 days a week, you have no leverage to increase that. So my suggestion would be to start slow and slowly increase, I guess, the pressure of things, slowly incorporate more over time. But I think my first thing I would do is breaking through plateau is, if you aren't counting your macros, then you should start doing that. And I think honestly, just starting to count your macros will give you a little insight into what you need to be doing next. And yeah.
So it kind of depends what kind of plateaus you're talking about. If we're talking about like weight training plateaus, like let's say you are training and you're not seeing any strength gains, or you're not getting any, stronger in the gym, then that's going to require a different type of stimulus to bust through that plateau than like a weight loss stall plateau would be, for instance. So when it comes to
we're talking about
weight loss stall, okay, so I'll just talk about this in the context of a weight loss stall. First and foremost, like Crystal said, is tracking. You can't really know what variables and what levers you need to pull if you don't even know what you're currently pulling. So removing as many variables as you possibly can and getting a solid foundational baseline is going to be key and paramount. That's why I always recommend clients like track their macros. Like if I'm in a contest prep, I'm tracking every single thing I consume day in, day out, so that I know what variables I have to manipulate. If you don't know what variables there are to manipulate, you don't know what your foundation is, then you're totally shooting in the dark. There is a total, you can be intuitive, you can be instinctive with keto, and keto makes it very easy to do that. Mm-hmm. But if you are trying to like really get things dialed in and hone in on something, like if you're happy with where you're at compositionally speaking, if you're confident with how you look, how you feel, and you're not really trying to improve, then keep eating intuitively, instinctively. If you're trying to like really dial in on a specific goal, then you have to account for your variables and know what your baseline is. So tracking your macros is going to be the first and foremost key to busting through a plateau. Mm-hmm. You got that?
Got it.
And then once you have that baseline established, change one thing at a time, whether it be the amount of cardio, the type of training, the type of the food you're eating, the calories you're eating, the ratio of those types of foods that you're eating. Change one thing at a time. If you change 15 different things at once, then you don't know which of those 15 actually contributed to you busting through the plateau, and you can't really prioritize for it next time. So,
which kind of goes along with my don't do everything all at the same time. Yeah. Slowly incorporate things.
Yes. All right. So, y'all guys want to start asking some questions?
Go. Like you started off so funny.
You guys and gals want to start asking some questions? By the way,
happy birthday to Kimberly. It is also my mom's birthday, so, and it's Gormy's birthday, Mike's.
It's just a day of birthdays. All right, we got a question. Anybody throw us a question out there?
Heard, someone says, I can hear you. Does AZ, Arizona?
Yeah. have crazy restrictions like Ohio and Michigan. I don't know.
We
We're
live
in
Arkansas. But if you are talking about Arkansas, then we don't really have any super crazy restrictions. We definitely have people who are not at work right now, restaurants, salons, all that kind of stuff.
All that kind of stuff. Jacob says, "How's it going? What's up, Jacob?" He's the guy that did all of my paintings, a bunch of my paintings.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You got a question?
Did Carol Baskin feed her husband to the tigers? Honest to goodness, you guys, Robert and I do not have time to watch these shows that everyone's talking about. I don't know what
Carol
it means.
Baskin?
It's some girl on a show. It's like a tiger show or a cat show or something, and it's all about
if she real news or totally fake. I don't know.
I think it's all. I don't know. Is it all real? Is it all fake? I don't even know.
How about a salted caramel keto brick? Whoa, stranger things have happened. We might be working on something. Will you be going to KetoCon if it isn't canceled? It is canceled, but they are doing virtual 2020 KetoCon presentations, and I have agreed to be one of those virtual presentations. So I will be able to do that virtually.
Happy Hump Day, Coach and Mrs.
What's up?
Are you still eating OMAD?
Yes. I don't eat OMAD on my refeed days, but I do eat OMAD every other day. Bicep size? What you got?
Bigger than Robert?
Whatever.
Actually, I had a picture that I posted on my Instagram, and someone said, I think it was someone on here, said that I'm still beating you at the lat game.
The lat game?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I think they're like 16 inches.
Robert, do you know your bicep size? You got asked again. Is it the same person? They really want to know your bicep
16
size.
16 inches, yeah. Will you be... Wait, I already read that.
Were you surprised when Goody Beats said he's on TRT?
He said that? On social? Where did he say that at? I'm curious.
We'll have to watch it because we didn't have a reaction because we didn't.
I've never seen
that.
Tiger King either. Yeah, I haven't either. No Tiger King for us.
What about not being able to increase the ketone levels? Is that a plateau too?
All right, so let's talk about that. So the question is, what about not being able to raise the ketone levels? First of all, don't fixate too much on the ketone levels. It kind of depends on where you're at with the keto journey. If you're just starting keto, having not been keto since birth, when you were drinking your mother's milk, then you're probably not going to have super high ketone levels if you're eating carbs, obviously. Then you switch over to keto and you see a pretty significant initial jump in ketone levels because your body's like, wow, we're burning more fat. We're not having the carbs. There's no carbohydrates that we're being fueled from. Let's start producing ketones. Let's start mobilizing stored adipose tissue. Boom, you got ketones. Now, when you are in keto for a long time, you're adapted for quite some time, your body gets more efficient at taking those ketone molecules and forcing them into the cells and using them. So there's going to be less floating around in your bloodstream to be had. Now, here's a big important caveat here. Ketones are going to be higher, generally speaking, in the context of a caloric deficit. If you're in a maintenance or a surplus, you're not going to have super high ketones. Since I've been adding calories back in, since the reverse diet, my ketones have been much, much lower. But I know I'm fat adapted. I know I'm keto adapted. If you feel great, which I do, then don't think that you have to have super high ketones.
Mm-hmm. This was before I started competition prep, but was already keto for about 1.5 years. First time I saw my doctor and did a blood test, it showed I had hypothyroidism. I don't know if that's a question.
Was there a question before that?
No.
You got a question there, Marjorie?
I mean, that is very common, and I would not say that you have that from keto. That's actually super, I don't want to say super common, but it is pretty common for women, honestly. I know a lot of women who have hypothyroidism. What are you doing?
Showing off my haircut, the crystal cut.
Check it doesn't look good when you gotta style it, and then people can think that looks good.
It's not styled yet. Two crazy ketos. What's up?
Oh, why does keto change thyroid hormones? It doesn't.
It can.
It can.
So check this out.
It can make it better.
Yeah, if you lose a bunch of weight, initially, like let's say you get on keto, you lose a bunch of weight, you lose a bunch of body fat, your thyroid is going to be affected regardless of what diet. A lot of people jump on keto and lose a lot of weight, lose a lot of fat, and their thyroid temporarily down regulates a little bit, and they just are like, oh, keto's causing my thyroid to get messed up. But in reality, it's because they're losing a bunch of weight, which is a good thing, but it has like this lag effect on your thyroid. So take that into consideration.
Also, a lot of people, when they have thyroid issues, they're put on a thyroid type diet, like to be helpful for their diet, a diet to help their thyroid. And honestly, if you look at a lot of what they recommend is a lot of keto foods. There is some things that are not keto, but if you take into consideration that a lot of them are keto, then I think most people will see that it actually is a benefit.
Jacob says, can you do some more band exercise, band tutorials for at-home workouts, especially during these crazy times? So we have a resistance band deeper state keto mini course that Brandon made. And we made that course free in light of these crazy times. So if you don't have that, Jacob, check out deeperstateketo.com and get that.
Thoughts on stevia and monk fruit on impact on insulin levels? So that is going to be so individualized. It's totally going to depend on you, how your body responds to sweeteners, how your body responds to pretty much anything. I don't think either one of us, Robert or myself, respond to monk fruit or stevia, and I think the majority of people probably don't. They don't have a big insulin spike from it, but there are those people that absolutely it does. So those are things that you're going to have to test on your own body for sure.
Wisdom Battle says, when tracking macros and intermittent fasting, do you find it hard to meet your nutritional intake, or does it matter? Example, 2,200, but only eating 1,800. So I've never really had trouble eating my macros, especially when I'm doing like intermittent fasting. I'm just hungry. Like I have a big appetite. I can eat a lot of food. If I'm in a massive surplus, then I start hitting this threshold and it's like, okay, I'm not hungry at all. I feel like I'm force feeding. But if I'm in a deficit, or if I'm doing intermittent fasting and my goal is to eat 2,200 calories, then I'd be able to blow through 1,800 no problem. So if you're not hungry and your calorie count is that low, I mean, 2,200 is not that high in the grand scheme of things, then you probably have some down-regulated metabolism. You're going to want to crank that up.
Yeah, so I would definitely work on, I wouldn't focus on the intermittent fasting. I would focus on making sure that you can get in your calories, because if that now is like muscle and all of that, and you're able to get in all your calories, that's what's going to be more important than the intermittent fasting part. So definitely, depending on your goal, I mean, if you're trying to eat 2,200 calories, then don't worry about the eating window. Just eat the calories that you're trying to get in. This
is a good one. We were talking about this yesterday. Growing Up Super says, I'm noticing a recent trend of carbs being added back in, like squash, sweet potato, carrots, etc. People are reporting hormones finally happy.
Yep.
Why would this be the case if carbs are not essential?
Go watch my last YouTube video.
All right, Joe. I don't know if I want to totally drop the gauntlet here or not. I'm gonna be safe with it. So I'm just gonna say this. Oftentimes, people don't eat enough calories. Then they start eating more carbs, and it's easier for them to get those calories in, because a lot of carbs are more hyperpalatable than a lot of fats and protein. Plus, carbs allow you to have more of an insulin spike, which is going to create more hunger. So it's going to be easier to get more overall calories, generally speaking, in the context of having carbs make up part of those calories. A lot of these people that are having these hormone issues are a result of not eating enough calories for far too long. They start eating carbs, they ramp up that calorie count, and then things start happening better. They start healing. But it's not because of the carbs so much, it is because their overall calories are higher.
I do have to say that I've noticed a trend with the people who are incorporating more carbs. Also, make sure that they're hitting a lot of protein and they aren't eating a lot of fat. Your hormones are regulated using fats, using energy. And if you look anything up, you need that energy source to help all of your hormones. So if you are mostly using protein, you're going to have a harder time, especially females, regulating your hormones. So having that high fat is the same thing as having that high carb, but they don't increase the fat first. They don't increase the fat and say, oh yeah, this is helping. They immediately go for the carbs because it's easier, because that's what they've been told before. And people will definitely say that like Robert and I are stuck in this don't eat carbs thing.
Because you don't need to.
It's because you don't need to. We are not stuck. We just know what works.
Yeah, we're not. That's a good way to put it. We're not stuck on not having carbs. We're stuck on success.
I mean, but really though, I mean, you guys, I mean, a lot of you guys have been with me through my journey, and honestly, taking a step back in my training and trying to really look into my nutrition, I've gone lower carb than I had been, and my carbs were already lower, and I feel so much better. But it's all about eating your energy source, eating enough calories. And we could preach this day and night and people will still not listen because they want to eat the freaking carbs.
Yep. That's what I gotta say. I can totally take off the gloves, but I'm not gonna take the gloves off.
He said
He said it on a live video.
Oh.
He said that his levels were super low. Also, Crystal, it's me that always says your lat gain is being
I thought so. That's hilarious.
Thanks. Miriam, thanks.
Thoughts on... Oh,
we
already read that one, yeah.
Dylan, what's
y'all.
up?
Oh,
Miss you, Dylan.
What?
What you doing, bro?
I was literally stalking your Instagram the other day, and it wasn't that one. And I was sad because you weren't on it anymore.
Reach out, man.
But I miss you.
Do miss Dylan. Goody Beats talked about TRT in one of his live videos. Also, it's my that always says it's the same again.
Yeah, I wonder what's happening.
New toasted almond coconut brick is hands down the best. That's what I'm liking. Brick, not brink. Brick works better than brink. Intermittent fasting plus keto minus how do you build muscle? Intermittent fasting plus keto minus how do you build muscle? Maybe that's just
it's a dash. How do you build muscle? Intermittent fasting and keto. Well, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
My thoughts on that is I do more intermittent fasting when I'm trying to drop body fat. I don't do it when I'm in a building season. So that is my one thing with the intermittent fasting. And also, people say you can't build muscle on keto. Well, fat is your energy source, and proteins is where you get all of your you use a lot of that to build your muscle. So I don't understand why people think you can't. But that's all I gotta say.
So I don't do a whole lot of intermittent fasting when I'm trying to build muscle either. It just makes getting in as many calories as I would like to optimize building muscle harder. So I try and prioritize intermittent fasting when I'm in a cutting. That's why I do like an OMAD approach. When my calories are low, I'm only eating one meal a day and I'm trying to lose body fat. But I'm not really doing OMAD when my priority is building muscle. So eat a little bit more frequently. Make sure you're eating enough total calories and make sure you're getting enough protein in.
MCT oil and coconut oil helps with hormones, thyroid. Yeah, I think it definitely depends on the person. Some people can't handle all that.
Natasha Downing says, when do we hear what won the votes for the full-time keto brick flavors? So,
are we putting out a post?
Yeah, we're gonna put out a post. We're probably gonna make that into effect early next month.
Which is like next week.
Yeah, which is like next week. But I will say this. It was a definite win in favor of toasted almond coconut being a full-time flavor. So, you've heard it here first. Toasted almond coconut will be a full-time flavor, and we will add it to the variety pack and subtract the cinnamon 2.0 from the variety pack very soon. We will make a post when that officially happens, but that will happen.
That cinnamon 2.0, I think we will make it more seasonal, though, for sure.
Thanks, everybody who participated in that poll. That helped a ton.
Yeah, it sure did.
Crazy Ketos, beat you. Says, toasted almond is really good, but my favorite is still peanut butter. Toasted almond comes in second.
Ooh.
It's toss-up.
Is there a relation to insulin and thyroid hormone conversion?
It's all all the hormones are interconnected. Everything's like this, your whole body, your whole brain, everything's interconnected in the symbiote. Your whole body, your whole brain. So everything is symbiotic in nature. It works together. Generally speaking, if one improves, the others improve. There's this weird like thing that if something's getting really, really good and like people start keto and everything's getting way better, then their doctor's like, oh, you're gonna die of keto. So it's like, why? If everything's improving, listen to that. Let that be the most bioavailable feedback that you tap into. It's probably not near as technical as you wanted me to go with it, fat for weight loss, but
yeah, that's
what are
mine.
you doing?
That one's mine. Where the heck can I order gym equipment at this point? Every place is sold out, gyms all closed, and the bands aren't enough. I honestly don't know. I don't know where people are ordering this stuff from right now.
We saw this dump truck the other day that had this old crappy gym equipment piece in it. It was like probably some, I don't know, Bowflex from the 90s. And it's like, I looked at it and I could tell that it was gym equipment sticking out. I'm like, man, that's got more currency value than an armored truck right now, than a Wells Fargo truck. It's like everybody's chasing after that.
It's pretty funny. Opinions on keto, raising LDL cholesterol. Are you conscious of your lipid panels? I'll be completely honest with you. I've never, ever had my labs taken.
You have before, I think, in the past.
I've never had my cholesterol checked. I've never had any of that checked.
So I get my labs drawn all the time. Everything has only improved as a result of keto. Some people do notice a pretty significant climb in their cholesterol initially, but you have to look at everything in context. If your LDL is a little bit higher, but your HDL is also higher, and your triglycerides are much lower, then you're healthier. Generally speaking, the quick disclaimer here, I'm not a doctor. I don't want to play on the internet, but if your LDL is a little bit higher, in the context of your HDL also being higher and your trigs being lower, then I wouldn't worry about it personally.
So someone said that the almond coconut bricks are fire.
Jonathan Shane says, why are y'all so cool? And the answer, Jonathan Shane, is because we look at what Jonathan Shane, the Keto Road's doing, and then we just try and mimic it. And if we do that perfectly, we're pretty cool.
That's true.
That's it. Maybe I should do the pose that he does. Isn't that what it is? He's doing right here in this picture?
Oh.
He's
not doing this with his hand.
I don't have enough room to do it all.
Yeah.
That's how we're cool, though.
That's how we're cool.
Love your work, guys. Thank you. We love your work, man.
Sure
By the way, I want to make a cinnamon roll with your new recipe. And we talked about this before, but I've tried it and I want to tweak a few things. I want to get your feedback. So I want to make a massive cinnamon roll with your expertise in a little different format than the last one, in a little bit different format than what's in your book, but I got some ideas and I want your expertise.
Oh boy, you get ready for that. Robert does a lot of cooking.
We have a question. Do y'all have a cat? No.
This is Jack, though. This is Jack. He's so cute.
He is good for nothing. He is a waste of space.
He is not.
He's a waste of space.
He's my baby.
No, he really makes me mad.
Jack has been my baby for, how long have we been together, Jack?
Too long.
Since 2008.
Croak already, why don't you?
We've been together since 2008, so like 12 years. And he is 13 years old. In October, he'll be 13 years old. How crazy.
Super crazy.
Robert is so mean to him.
Here we go. Have you noticed your immune system working better on keto? 100% absolutely yes. My immune system has always been really good, though, to be honest.
Mine has been terrible. I used to get sick all the time.
Don't like me?
All the time. Seriously, I was sick. And so I have to say, like, my immune system's so much better, honestly.
Yes. I mean, there's just so many caveats as to, not caveats, but there's so many factors as to what improves your immune system, and many of those boxes are checked with a ketogenic diet. But yeah, I mean, there's people that I know that used to get sick all the time, and they never get sick. I never was ever really sick to begin with, so I'm not really a good person to ask.
On keto, I think I've been sick one time each year, and I feel like that is pretty dang fair, because I used to get sick all the time.
Karen says, oh, poor Jack, he is cute.
I know.
Nope. We can't keep a cat or dog because of our Chinese neighbors. Chinese people don't like cat or dog. Oh, because they would eat them? Is that
Robert, guys, don't say that.
Don't
That's
say that.
mean. That's so mean.
Isn't that the stereotype? Like they eat them?
That is, yes, that is the stereotype.
Not all Chinese people eat dogs and cats.
Oh my goodness.
I wouldn't eat you, Jack. I don't think you're fit to eat. I'd feed you to dog food.
We have talked about it, and I think he would be pretty tough.
It'd be gross.
Tough old dog.
I'd have to like slow roast him with a bunch of other meat to cover up the flavor of Jack.
Keto diet is great to boost immune system. Flex, Frida says.
Flex.
I got your card, and I opened it, but I didn't show Robert yet. So
what? I didn't get a card.
It's to us.
Oh, here we go.
I think you're so cute. Thank you for that.
Are you coaching business? And if so, what is the best way to contact you for that? Are you coaching business? So, am I coaching
to help people with their business?
To help people with their business? I don't officially coach with that. I officially coach with like keto nutrition, but I would be happy to help you with your business endeavors. Just shoot me an email, chief@ketosavage.com. And she said, that is not even a Chinese joke or nothing. Yeah, see? We're not being mean.
It sounds like you're being pretty mean.
No, I'm not being mean. I'm never mean.
All right, guys, what are we going to talk about next week?
Yeah.
Hey,
What's
Robert.
The next question?
Hey, Robert, are high calories still necessary to build high amounts of muscle on a keto diet? Have you found that it is better to use fat or protein to do this? What is your highest caloric amount? Thank you.
All right, so high calories are important for building muscle regardless of the diet. Doesn't have to be keto. You just need to be in the context of a caloric surplus to optimize for building muscle. You don't have to be at a caloric surplus to build muscle, but if you are trying to prioritize building muscle, it's going to behoove you to be eating more food to have more fuel to build that tissue, because it takes fuel to build tissue. And the other question was, have you found that it's better to use fat or protein to do this? So you have to have adequate protein. You can't optimize building muscle if you don't have enough protein for amino acids to build the muscle fibers, muscle tissue, but you have to have the fat for energy and the overall calorie intake. So you want both. You don't want to just have one or the other. So have adequate protein, and feel free to be at a surplus of protein when your priority is building muscle, and have adequate fat for energy.
Jonathan said, Robert's never mean. He picks on me all the time.
I do.
Frida said, John, that's because it's easy to pick on you.
It is super easy. When do we get to see your photo shoot pictures? I was actually going to make that a video this week, but I forgot. But I got the photos in, and I'm going to make that a video for next week. So next week, I'll do like a slideshow or something. It's kind of weird making a video of photos of me, but I'm sure I can figure it out. All right. Our cat went missing last week, and the same night he invited us for dinner. That is funny. My boyfriend's cat, not mine.
That's hilarious.
I don't know about cats here.
Thank you so much. You guys rock. Well, thank you. I think it was really nice that you said thank you. Even before. That was really kind of you.
You bet. Thank you for saying thank you. All right, y'all. What is the question for next week? What are we going to preface next week's video with? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know what we got on Facebook and YouTube. What we got on Instagram. Whose arms are bigger? Crystal or Robert's? No brainer. Robert's.
Crystal's. Frida, you better say Crystal.
The only thing I've ever been able to build with high calories is my tummy. Well,
you got to work out.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to make, this is actually a video I've been wanting to make. And it's going to be how to ramp up calories. That's going to be a lot of videos. Honestly, I'm making several on that. But like how to get shredded by first having high calories. So that would be a good one. All right. So Jamie says, steps to hacking your body weight, set points. How to increase calories without gaining weight. Not much info on that. Perfect. That's what we'll talk about. Can I take a picture of that so we can know? You can, because my phone's over here. My phone's in the other room. Oh, man. Jonathan, text me this. I'm going to screenshot your question, Jamie. All right. Boom. I got it. Cool. That's what we're going to start the question with next week. Steps to hacking your body weight, set point, how to increase calories without gaining weight. Boom. All right, y'all. We love you. Don't be offended. Do you use some kind of asteroid to grow apart from your keto diet? What is that? Asteroid. If you could tell us what that is.
We might
I don't
be able
use it
to
because I don't know what it
tell
is, but let us know what asteroids are.
Maybe roids? Maybe steroids? Kind of steroids? To grow apart from your keto diet.
It's probably a typo. It's probably supposed to be steroid.
Yeah.
No, we do not use steroids or asteroids. I have had a hard time getting this asteroid injected in me.
They did say roids. No. 100% natural. Clearly, you're probably not talking to me, but we're both natural.
Look at that, though.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
If there was such a thing as a steroid bicep, that would be what it looks like.
Or an asteroid bicep.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We're calling it a day. We'll see you next time. We love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.